All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son, the Mashiach. Some call Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, Yehoshua. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. Early bird get the word. Early bird get the word. We're going to hit Amos 9, 1 through 10, or 1 through 9. We just navigating the text a little bit, having to understand a few things. We may hit Amos 5 also if we have time. But let's go ahead and get into it. First thing we need to understand that Amos is a book that has poetry in it. It has visions in it. It has prophecies in it. All right. Amos 9:1. He says, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar. And he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them. And I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth for them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth from them shall not be devoured. I meant delivered. I'm sorry. He that escapeth from them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to the heaven, thence will I bring them down. And we see the heaven and hell there, the hell being the grave. And we're going to get into that, y'all willing, we're going to get into that heaven and that hell doctrine. We're going to get down to the bottom of it. Is there an eternal fiery judgment? We don't want to play semantics with the words. Amos 9:3, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search to take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it will slay them. And I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not good. And the Lord God is of hosts is he that toucheth the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wholly like a flood, and it shall be drowned as the flood of Egypt. Talking about the Nile during the flood times, it rising up and coming back down. Just using this to describe how he's going to destroy who he talking about here? Talking about Israel. God's judgment is unavoidable. Verse 6, it is he that buildeth his stories in the heaven, and have founded his troop in the earth. He that calleth the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. And you'll see something like this in Amos 5 also. And it's just the writer just, flexing, showing that the power of the Most High. He writeth his stories in the heaven. He founded his troop in the earth. Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? What is he saying here? Are you not as the children of Israel? I mean the Ethiopians, O children of Israel. And kind of getting at the point of, are you not as significant, or are you more significant? Are you more important to me than the Ethiopians, O children of Israel? Saith the Lord, have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt? All right, didn't I bring you out of the land of Egypt? Watch this. And the Philistines from Caphtor, and the Syrians from Ker. All right, and this is what we have to understand, and this is why I wanted to point this out to us, is that the Most High is dealing with all the pieces on the table. It's a chessboard, but the Most High controls all the pieces on the board, every piece. And so, yeah, we were delivered out of Egypt, but we see these other nations being delivered from some of their enemies. That has nothing to do with us. We don't even know their story. That's probably in their writings. You probably can find it in some history of the Philistines where they were delivered from Caphtor, and they probably gave that deliverance to another deity. And the Syrians also. You probably can read in some Assyrian history. You probably can find it on some kind of darn tablet. I know that. I wonder if they have or find it on their walls. The Syrians did a lot of things on their walls. but I don't know what form of writing. I can't think about what form of writing. I don't think it's cuneiform or um like a tablet or a stele like the Moabites or the Nubians would make. I don't know. But it'll be in their writings. It'll probably be in their writings. It won't be in the writings of Israel. It won't be in our writings, but we do have a glance here that, hey man, I delivered them folks out of from their enemies also. I delivered them out. So we have to understand these things. Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. I will destroy it from the face of the earth. And again, that hyperbole, this is exaggerated speech that we're reading about the judgment. A lot of times the judgment, a lot of times, you can say some of the blessings. We don't want to say that. But some of the blessings and, some of the judgment can be an exaggerated speech. Will he destroy us? He gonna destroy us off the face of the earth? And then look what he says here. Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. All right. For lo, I will command and I will shift the house of Israel among nations. Like as corn is shifted in a sleeve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake. The evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And you got to be careful with that. Brothers talking about the evil, brothers talking about, and I got a video lined up for that. Y'all, when I get to it today or tomorrow. But, that, you can just do whatever you want because you're Israel, you're going to be saved, man. Listen, says all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. We got to understand that evil will prevent us from entering into that kingdom. And if you're teaching that, man, you're going to mess around and feel that sword. You're going to mess around and feel the wrath of the Lord. And then we get into Amos 9:11. We get into the restoration of Israel. All right. We get into the restoration of Israel, and while we here, let's go, I know y'all hungry for the word this morning. So let's go ahead and go to Amos 5. We'll deal with some of this too. Hear ye this word which I take up against you, even a lamentation, O house of Israel. What is a lamentation? Lamentation goes into a song. Lamentation goes into a song. Here, lamentation, dirty, Elijah. Told you I ain't the best reader. But look at this. As accompanied by beating of the breast or on instruments. Some of the strongest, some of the most powerful gospel songs were just one stomping on the ground, just stomping in that up there in that choir stand. Used to be powerful. Or when we was in slavery, and a lot of times you had no instruments. You was out there in the field, and you just beating on your chest, or you'll see jokers. I don't even want to deal with the rap stuff, man, but you see jokers beating on tables and beating on beatboxing and but I don't even like to use the rap as an example. The rap so poisonous to us, man. It's destroyed us, man. It was some sugar. It was good at first. It was a little healthy at first, but man, that tool has been used to destroy us, man. And it's been a very murderous tool. It's almost worse than the gun, because it's what makes us pick it up. It controls the mind behind the gun. It's a stronger weapon than, let me get on. Hear ye this word which I take up against you, even a lamentation. This is a song. That's why we stopped when we went through that. This is a song. House of Israel. The virgin of Israel is fallen. She shall no more rise. Are we saying Israel is never going to rise? No, this is hyperbolic language, hyperbole, exaggerated speech. We are reading a song. All right, take up this lamentation. Take up this song. She is forsaken upon her land. There's none to raise her up. For thus saith the Lord God, the city that went out by 1,000 shall leave 100, and that which went forth by 100 shall leave 10. to the house of Israel. For thus saith the Lord unto the house of Israel, seek ye me, and ye shall live. But seek not Bethel, nor enter into Gilgal, and pass not to Beersheba, for Gilgal shall surely go into captivity, and Bethel shall come to naught. Seek the Lord, and ye shall live, lest he break out like a fire in the house of Joseph and devour it, and there be none to quench it in Bethel. And that's a great verse there too. Seek ye the Lord and live. We gotta be seeking God. We gotta wake up seeking God. That's why, all praises to the Most High. We was able to wake up and get into this word. First thing, we gonna get up. We gonna get into this word. Early bird get the word. At least he break out in the fire in the house of Joseph and devour it. And see, you don't want that. You don't want that fire in your house. You don't want to be devoured by the wrath of the Lord. That's why we got to understand salvation. There's a salvation, saving you from your enemies, but we also have to talk about the more important salvation, which is saving us from the wrath of God. When we talking about salvation, I'm talking about what's going to save us from the wrath of God. And there be none to quench it in Bethel. Ye who turn judgment to wormwood and leave off righteousness in the earth. And this is what I'm saying. We can't pervert judgment. We got to make righteous judgment on matters. We have a lot of brothers and sisters in leadership positions that are making unrighteous judgments, that are destroying, that are fleecing the flock. Verse 8, seek him that maketh the 7 stars and Orion, he that turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth the waters of the sea and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. You see that same writer, we read that in Amos 9. That same kind of, where the writer is pretty much, flexing the Lord's power. And then ends it with the Lord is his name. This great creator that maketh the 7 stars over Orion. Let's keep going. That strengtheneth the spoil against the strong, so that the spoil shall come against the fortress. That's also, man, I chose you not because you were the strongest, but because you were the fewest in numbers. Not because you had the greatest numbers. I chose you because you're the fewest. It's an underdog story. This is how he shows his strength. All right, by taking those things that are lowly and confounding those things that are deemed to be of high esteem. He strengthened the spoil against the strong. But this is what we want to deal with too, man. We're going to stop here. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate of, and abhor him that speaketh uprightly. You're going to be hated. If you're teaching correctly, people are going to, they're not going to like you. They're not going to like you. And they're going to want to stray you from what you're doing. When you're teaching the truth, because the truth is bitter. The truth is bitter, man. We rarely hear the truth. We rarely go out here and hear the truth from people. People will tell you, oh, man, you got a nice cut, but, they ain't going to tell you the truth. Like, hey, man, that boy, your hairline, boy, you might need to let that go. Your hairline way up there, boy, the corners, look at that, man, the corners all gone. Man, you might need to get off of that thing. But that's, oh, man, I see you got your hair done there. Looking like, oh, man, I see you, oh, yeah, man, you keeping your feet there. But, just ain't going to try to tell you, hey, man, you know what, that ain't how we supposed to be doing that. Because it's bitter. And it's bitter on both sides. And you have to have long suffering on both sides. Even if you're going to teach the truth, you got to have long suffering with brothers and patience with brothers, because they're going to hate you for it. And while they hating you, you still got to love them. You still got to love them. A lot of times, man, we don't want to punish our kids because, we can't, we don't hold on to we'll punish them. But, man, we'll let them little jokers start making them little faces and stuff, man, and get them moping around the house. And then we end up just giving in and giving it to them. And we don't let them finish out their sentence. We don't love them enough to watch them. So sometimes you got to love a joker enough to let them be mad. But you gonna have to deal with their word. You gonna have to deal with what we teach you. We gonna have to talk about it. We gonna have to hash these things out. We gonna have to navigate the text. Somebody may have to look like a fool if we gonna get down to the truth of the matter. And a lot of times we don't want the truth. We'll rather not look like a fool. And so we'll stray away from the truth. We'll stray away from trying to get down to the truth. But I want you to understand this. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. And this is, of course, this is dealing with Israel. All right, this is dealing with Israel. And it's not Israel. It's anybody. You give somebody some correction at a job site, and you tell them, hey, man, you need to lay these things like this, or you need to line them up like this, man. Just that little, it riles up the flesh, man. You got to check your flesh. All right. And you have to, we when we talking about rebuking and we talking about correction, you have to check your flesh, and you have to be in the spirit, operating in the spirit of humility when you giving it. And you have to have a certain humility and humbleness when you're receiving it. You know what I'm saying? So humility is key to these things, but understand that when you bring these things out, they hate him that rebuketh and negate. You had a king that dance like, listen, man, Elisha was giving a prophecy, man, listen, don't go to that joker. He was telling the Moabite king, don't go to that joker, man. He don't never prophesy anything righteous about us. He never says anything good. And of course that prophecy didn't come out. This is what we sit the lying spirits and stuff out there to the other prophets or whatnot, if y'all familiar with that. So if not, we can go over it in the comments and we'll go over it. But we've destroyed all the prophets. We killed all of them. We didn't like none of them. We didn't seek a lot of those prophets out, until we needed them, until we wanted to hear from the Lord. Of course, if we didn't want to hear from the Lord until we was afflicted. In our afflictions, they'll seek us early. And that kind of explains a lot of times too why a lot of us are afflicted, because we can't get up in the morning and praise God for waking us up, for giving us another chance at this thing, and searching him out. Let's search him out in the scriptures. Let's delve into the text a little bit. Let's talk about him. Let's get a little more understanding about him. What my brother be saying? Let's understand his essence a little more. But man, I pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed. We'll see y'all on the next one. Shalom.